Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 10. We are here with our AM2 crew at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm joined this evening with Perry the Dog and DK. How's it going tonight, guys?
Going pretty well, Bursey. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I'm hoping the chat can confirm if I've got game audio or not, because I'm not getting anything through my headphones at the moment. So we'll see if I've got to reload things up again. But we are currently underway with Arkaka out, as well as Young DJ. Looks like Young DJ is first on track. Yeah, I'm not getting any game audio at the moment here, so I might have to get this stream going again.
If you're not getting game audio, but voice audio could be a glitch in the game.
Yeah, you're not getting any voice audio or game audio, and so.
Okay, I will. Oh, there. I'm getting it now. That was weird. Game audio is now working. Alrighty. So yeah, Bahrain should be a dry race as we are in the middle of the desert. My research shows it should be either a two-stop strategy with the softs and the mediums in any particular order, or else it'll be a one-stop. I think you can stretch the soft to hards, or else the soft, or not, or else you can do a medium-hard strategy this evening. So we'll see kind of what the drivers opt for.
Yeah, going off that, I think it depends on the race, but we've seen, I think, both strategies really work well. I know in the EU3, the two-stop worked for one driver, and it really just depends on what kind of traffic you get for that two-stop, and just what kind of pace you have in general. I mean, I think the fastest guy is going to win probably regardless. I think the one-stop helps if you might be on the fringes. I was watching RJ or Young DJ get all out of shape in turn 2. But yeah, I think either strategy can definitely play out. It's just whichever driver executes and goes the fastest.
Absolutely. Looked like a little bit of a block there from Young DJ as he was trying to, as he didn't realize Arkaka was coming flying up behind him right into the first DRS straight there. So a little bit of an unfortunate mishap there. Hopefully Young Arkaka is able to still set a competitive lap. But it looks like
Arkaka has a bit of wing damage from that.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think I flipped over to Arkaka and Young DJ's car said AI, so could have had something to do with it.
Yeah, right now everybody out on softs early, so I think everybody's gonna commit to either, probably commit to softs in the top 10.
Yeah, it looks like it. Amram's the only one it looks like on the mediums at the moment. Looks like he's opting for either this is just a good banker lap, or I'm not sure what he's thinking, but maybe he's thinking he's got the pace to do a one-stop and make it work among the rest of the field.
I think the first to set a time will be R10 coming across.
Pop on board with him. It's iFunner goes fastest at 29.0, and then Rogue with the 26.9. So just like that, we're popping some times. Oh, 26.7 from Cream Media.
Wow. Yeah, I'd like to think that pole position today should be in the 125s. I think that some of these upper echelon, Bodhot, Kitten, should have that kind of pace to get into the 125s, especially by the end of the session on Sauce.
Oh, without a doubt. I think, looking at their time trial times, Bod's definitely there, and some of those other drivers, P-Dog and, like you say, Amram, they have some solid pace. I agree. I think you're going to see, as things progress, so definitely a low 26, high 25 for pole tonight, I think.
Interesting to see Kitten come into the pits. I don't think he'd invalidated it, and I'm willing to bet that he's probably going to qualify on the mediums and maybe try a medium to hard strategy It could definitely work out. I could see him with the times posted. If they don't really improve, he could be, low, maybe mid 126 on mediums at the fastest. I mean, that would be pretty quick for Kitten. So
Yeah. Without doubt. As we'll see.
So,
So RJP gonna be the next to set a lap here, it looks like, or will iFunner be setting a? No, iFunner should be diving into the pits, and he does. We'll see if RJP can set a lap here as he goes second fastest with a 26.773. So 2/1000ths of a second off of Green Media for pole position.
great laps from those two in first and second round now. They two drivers that need some good races to come their way.
I'm really intrigued right now. I've been riding on board of Andrew, and Andrew's been following Google Dougal. It's his teammate in the AlphaTauri. I mean, I think Andrew's got more pace. He decided to start behind Google Dougal, and that might help him with the draft in some spots. But I mean, other spots, it's definitely going to hold him up a little bit. Especially the last 2 or 3 corners, he had to go through some turbulence.
Yeah, it's interesting they didn't coordinate their quali laps, unless that was their strategy there. I don't know. I think you'd coordinate your toe a little bit better. So Google was on his in lap as he's towing Andrew around, and vice versa. But the AlphaTauri guys have their own way of doing things. So we'll see if it pays off here. As Andrew went third fastest with 26.8.
Bodhod's coming out on on medium tires.
I think P-Dog's got a pretty good lap going. One thing that I'm noticing, and I don't know how accurate the telemetry is sometimes in Spectator, but the ability to short shift around this track out of key turns. I'm thinking, especially out of like the turn 1, turn 2 area, and then also the last 2 turns. I mean, you make up a lot of time short shifting. I'm not really seeing a lot of it, so I don't know if that's just. I mean, it helps in the corner entry, obviously, to, just to get down to whatever you can get down to, but it also, I mean, I think it compromises your exit and your grip.
I completely agree. This is definitely a track where you're definitely going to have some of those trickier corners as you want to get on the power for those long straights, and sometimes you're a little overambitious and the rear end will want to break loose on you. So short shifting definitely is the key on those tight corners that you've highlighted there, Perry. But yeah, we'll see as Arcaka goes fourth fastest, 26.857. So P-Dog bailed on his lap right there. I was following along when you mentioned him, and then he looked to bail on his lap. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It looks like Bodhot has just started his hot lap. So we'll follow
I think
along.
quite a few are just going to elect to go to the mediums, and once they do that, I mean, we've had 9 drivers set at a time on softs.
Yeah.
It will make this race pretty interesting, especially early on, to see how these drivers play off. And I think I might be uncertain, but Kittenfetter looks to be one of the first guys that should come across the line on mediums. So we'll see what kind of pace, the top drivers have, but on a harder compound tire.
Oh, and Bodhot has retired from the session. Unfortunately, looks like he got a little squirrely there, and
Last the first challenge.
Last the first challenge for the top driver in AM2.
That is really going to make this race interesting.
So we see here, Amram is building up some ERS. Looks like, well, he did set a 27.3 on the mediums. So I wonder if he's got enough. Oh, he doesn't have enough fuel, so he will be coming in. So P-Dog has yet to set a lap. Porridge is on and out lap, and then we've got, it looks like Rogue. Rogue is giving her. We'll see here if Rogue can improve his time from a 26.9 as he's working his way into the complex Sector 2. I've found both of these hairpins are really challenging to not lock up if you're not running ABS. It's quite tricky.
Yeah, but I think the key to some of these tight hairpin like corners really don't be afraid to brake early. I think the biggest thing Bahrain rewards you with is your exits, especially I think the second to last corner too. If you go in too hot, like I think iPhoner just did and slid the car a little bit, I mean it compromises your entire. There's so many long straights, you compromise that entire straight, and you're just constantly losing time.
No, 100%. That's definitely, as the old adage goes, slow in, fast out. You really want to get yourself set up for success with some early apexes there. So yeah, we'll see as Rogue is coming around the final corner, and we'll see if he's improved on his time. It doesn't look like he has, so he's still sitting 5th fastest with a 26.958.
Porge is coming to the end of Sector 2 right now on a lap on soft tires. Yet to set a lap time.
Alright, we'll see what Porridge can do.
He must have had a pretty eventful Sector 1. I don't think this time will be anything. Yeah, he's going to bail out of it. We're just going to be definitely slower than a 127, so it was not going to be anything earth-shattering.
Well, he's got enough time. He can hop on another set of softs if he wants and try to get one more run in. Hopping on board. iFunner's in the middle of his second run here, so we'll see if iFunner can put the hammer down, keep it clean. So far, so good. Rear end getting a little loose there. Alright, as iFunner comes to the finish line. Oh, he bails on his lap as well.
I think Andrew right now is on the time. Sector 1, he was 2/10 faster, which would be good enough to pull if he could match it in Sectors 2 and 3. Coming up to the end of Sector 2, around Blink's curve.
Yeah, he's currently
4/10 better.
4/10 better, so great lap for Andrew. Looking to set pole here.
Just riding on board with the P-Dog for a second there. He invalidated his out lap and then decided to not even attempt to set a lap and went straight into the pits.
Interesting. So he'll
The driver that needs to set a lap.
Yep. So Andrew, 26.2, a very solid lap from the AlphaTauri driver. It's, I think as the track starts to rubber up here, I think you're going to start to see some very quick times, and it looks like they've timed it up so he can tow his teammate Google Dougal around the track.
Yeah, I think they just both did a lap.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really check to see if Google improved.
Okay.
I think he must have because he jumped Amram, who was 6th, so...
Okay. Thank you for the correction.
Getting down to crunch time, though. I mean, this is...
So it looks like Arkaka's setting a lap here.
2/10 up, so that would put him P2 if he could finish. There's only really 2 corners here in Sector 3, so obviously both of them crucial. Maybe a little bit of a hold up for Amram, not really.
Oh, we got the AlphaTauri
Or he's
boys.
gonna bail.
And he bails on his lap. Google, I think, was just letting Porridge by there by the looks of it, as Porridge is on his out lap. Oh, and
So Amram set a lap on mediums, and now he's thrown on the softs, and unless he pulls into the pits, which seems to be what everybody has been doing, we'll see what he decides to do. Should be quite a bit quicker, though. I mean, I would assume he would be right there, pole position, on these soft tires.
yeah, you'd think he has had a tendency to be one of the quickest drivers in the grid, so we expect nothing less, I guess, as he is rounding turns 9 and 10. The very technical hairpin section there. Be very easy to lock up. Kitten Petter.
Kitten.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Kate.
I was going to say Kitten Petter puts in a 26.0 and takes provisional pole position on the soft tire.
Looks like young DJ had a little spill coming out of the final turn there. There's a little bit of caution. The yellow flags were thrown, and at the exit of turn 14.
Here comes Amram, though. I think he's going to be right close to that time to beat.
I think so too.
Gonna be close.
Oh,
Just a tenth off. 2/10 almost.
that's an impressive, very impressive lap from Kit and Petter, setting the fastest lap so far at 26.0.
P-Dog has crashed, yeah.
Yeah, coming out of turn 3. So unfortunate for P-Dog and Botthod to not get a lap put in. Portage Power, he looks like he's coming across the line. Oh no, he's invalidated. He's built out, so I don't think Portage will get a lap either.
That's unfortunate for Portage. He's shown some solid pace as of late and has been up within the top half of the grid the last couple of races, and unfortunate that he wasn't able to set a lap here, but I think he'll be able to pull her together with his solid race pace he's been showing the last couple of races.
I think Rogue's on a lap right now, although he's 1/10 slower in Sector 1.
RJP is coming around turn 14, coming on that start finish straight. It's looking... Oh, and he has bailed on his lap.
I like this though. I mean, right now the top 8 are all within a second. We know probably P12 through P14 will also, I think, an optimal, time will be somewhere in that second. So with the DRS, it's really going to come down to who makes the little mistakes.
Absolutely, it'll be who keeps it clean, who isn't losing control, and also who is managing their ERS well, because I think that'll play a big factor in that. Oh, so we lost P-Dog for the moment. So looks like HS Maria. Oh, HS Maria loses it, bins it bad, but it looks like he's just lost his front wing. Trying to get a good angle of the car here, but Cody's aren't giving us a good angle. Just want to see that front wing. So unfortunately,
I think he did exactly what P-Dog did.
I think he did. He just lucked out and didn't DNF, but so time has expired. But is there anybody on a hot lap yet?
Andrew, I think, got across right before the end,
right.
And so did Arcog. I think our timing is a little bit different.
Okay. So Andrew rounds turn 4 into the complex S's of 5, 6, and 7.
400ths faster. It's going to be close if he continues at this pace.
Yep. And into the technical turn 9 and 10 complex. Very nice, Andrew. Keeping it clean. Getting on the power and getting the DRS open. And turn 11. Been a very solid lap from Andrew so far. He is currently
keeping it careful not to hit that curve on the inside of that turn there. It can easily spin you.
Yeah, that death curve on turn 12, it can get you. So very solid lap from Andrew. 2/10 up and then some. Look to see if he can keep it clean. Looking for provisional pole.
It's going to be a great lap. It's going to be in the 25s maybe. Oh,
I just missed it. Wow.
Well,
6,000ths.
Man, great lap from Andrew, though. So, it looks
Arcaka, Arcaka finishes it off P5.
So, that's everything.
He was the last one.
So, Kit and Petter P1 with Andrew P2 and Amram P3. So, some familiar faces at the top half of the grid here. And a strong showing from Cream Media and HS Maria as well. An unfortunate P-Dog, Bodhada, and Portage Power are unable to set laps in this qualifying section.
It's going to be very interesting watching Bodhad come up from the back, though.
Yep.
Being our championship leader by a long shot right now, I'm pretty sure.
Bodhad in the chat is saying there's a couple of guys that got their lap started after the clock hit 0, so let's see if he can. If there's a way that gets sent in or something, but as of now,
yeah, I think especially Arcaka seems especially late, so I think Arcaka's one that the stewards will look at. HS Marrera possibly, because he was in front of Arcaka a ways. Then I think Andrew was in front of them. So definitely Arcaka, I think, would be the one, because if he did, then if he didn't, then I don't think anybody did. But if he did, then there's potential there's another driver or two that did.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you're already on the track when the time expires and then you go over the line, I think it'll end in your lap. I think the glitch only works if you drive out of the pits after time has expired.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Because like Arcaka crossed, and it was like 5 or 6 seconds after the time remaining, and I was like, I think he's probably okay, because there's usually like a 10 or 15 second differential from what we see versus what is actually on the screen. But I don't know. Arcaka would be the first one, because he was the last one to sit a lap.
Fair. Alright, well, guys, do we have some way too early predictions here? Chat, do you have way too early predictions for our podium finishers?
Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb here and say Bodhod P3, Andrew, or actually Kenton Petter P2, Andrew P1. I think tonight's the night Andrew picks up a win.
I think I'm mostly going to sit back and enjoy this one. I think it's going to be incredibly close, and I don't know. I'm intrigued with the P-Dog and Bodhod, you know, if they start on mediums where they end up, but I think the guys up front, Kitten and Andrew, have a lot of pace already, so...
Oh, definitely. It's definitely going to be a great race. Another AM2 spectacle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll say for AM2, you know, want to point out turn 1 can get pretty hectic here, so I do fully expect at least one person to lose some front wing for turn 1 or 2. We've already seen 2 people spin and crash on the exit, so
I will second that prediction.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think we'll have some carnage here. First lap, this turn 1 is a tough one, but overall, I'm like Perry. I think it's sit back and enjoy it, and we'll see what happens as we get ready to go racing. I'm going to take this break in the action to remind our viewers that Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays you can catch our European competitors racing at 10 p.m. UK time. And so that'll start on Mondays with Tier 3, and then Tier 2 was earlier today, and tomorrow on Wednesday we'll have our Tier 1s, and then our newest Tier 4, is on Thursdays. And then you can catch our American Tier 1 drivers where Perry, DK, and I will be racing at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. So yeah, there you go. Remember to...
And
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to give a scoreboard update. The Rays have leaped out to a 5-1 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning in Game 2 of the ALDS. So, we do want to keep those baseball fans updated while they tune into AM2.
Thank you for the update, Perry. Much appreciated.
Just going to say go Yankees. And yeah.
There you go. Not much of a baseball fan myself, but when they do play, gotta support the only team in the country, the Blue Jays. When they are playing, unfortunately out of playoffs already, but there you
go. All right, so the back part, obviously the top 10 are all in softs, but iPhoner, P-Dog, Porge, and mediums. Bodhod electing to go to the hard, so he will probably try to take those hard tires over halfway.
Yeah, he's got options. He can... I think he'll probably be doing a hard medium strategy. I don't know if he can do a hard soft, but he can certainly try for it. But I guess we'll see with safety cars and the like what happens. But yeah, I think,
one thing is,
hard soft will be possible,
especially if they get if we get safety cars tonight. Could be that way.
So it looks like we got a
couple safety cars will let him save some tires.
Big gap here. It looks like Google Doodle's fallen back a little bit in the formation lap from Green Media, so I don't know if he just wanted to warm his tires up or what happened there, but...
It is a pretty quick formation lap, I'd say.
Yeah. Kitten Petter is
He's getting anxious.
getting those tires ready as he.
He's got some bush lights calling his name in the fridge.
Yes, I'm sure his sponsor Bush will be very very excited if he gets on the podium. Some excellent PR right there.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't think it's a sponsor, but at this point it should be a sponsor.
Honestly. All right. In front of the grid has getting set up. Portage Power has just pulled up to his position as we get ready to go racing. Glitch happens. And away we go, lights out.
Oh, a Ferrari didn't get going off the line. That is, young DJ didn't get going, and P-Dog slammed right into the back of him.
Unfortunately, sleeping at the lights. Oh, we got some big
HS
action in the middle there.
HS Bahrain up 3 spots.
It looks like Cream Media and iFunner came together there. Cream kind of got pushed wide at turn 1, and so he's trying to get back on track and just went into the side pod of iFunner, or vice versa, one of the two there. So unfortunate for the Williams team, sitting at the back of the grid.
It was a pretty great start for HS Marrera, though. I mean, he went down to the inside and he did not really overcook it. I mean, he might have shoved the Red Bull kind of wide, but anything too egregious. So he's tremendous start up from 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, from I think 10th to 5th.
Excellent so far for HS Maria. Sorry. Looks like Bodhot has been able to jump up 5 spots already. He had a great start, took advantage of the chaos in turn 1, and already up to P8. So that alternate strategy already looking prime, getting all the way up to P8.
Yeah, Bodhot biggest mover from the start up, 5 spots, like you said.
Yeah.
Top 3 already broken away a little bit.
So we'll look to see if Amram can get some pressure on Andrew.
So it's 3 DRS zones here. I'll be looking for maybe a little bit of a DRS train, potentially, if the field stays this close.
Yeah, let's say at this point, definitely the top 3 RJPs right on the edge of trying to stay on with that train.
Yeah, RJP's gonna need to put some tight. Oh, RJP goes quite wide on turn 7, and it looked like he's getting a little loose in the rear end there in the distance, but kept it on track. HS Maria is on his gearbox though after that. A little bit of a mishap. So Maria looking to capitalize early, already moving up 4 spots, looking for that 5th spot, getting P4. So far so good for the opening 2 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, AM2 edition.
I've had a very clean start. And looks, Rogue Wing, HS Marrera, battle for 5th.
Looks like Rogue was able to get a move done, but a little bit of a tap there, late tap from Maria.
Rogue went a little deep, but Marrera didn't have any room to really make a run at him, and still without DRS until they get to the 2nd straight, I guess you could say.
So we'll look to see here if Andrew and Amram.
Google Dougal and HS Marrera get. Oh, and Bodhot gets collected. He loses an end plate.
Oh no!
I caught the end of it, but it just looked like. I think Google Dougal thought he was clear, and HS Marrera was still there, and they got tangled, and then Bodhot coming by just got a piece of front wing knocked off.
That's very unfortunate for Bodhot as well, because he's on the hard tires, and with the wing damage, it's just going to make it even more difficult to make it go through the fast sections.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only upside is, You do have a lot of long straights, so as long as he can kind of keep up, at least he can kind of be pulled along. But it still is going to be tricky.
He's gonna lose a lot of time.
Yeah.
He's already lost about a second to Rogue as Arcaka almost thought about going to the inside of him right there.
HS Marrera has wing damage as well. Don't know about Google Dougal. It looks like Google just had a great move to the inside and then forced HS Marrera out a little bit, and Marrera didn't have any room, and Google Dougal just sort of came across.
So Google looks like his front wing is clean, so it looks like he came out of that pretty unscathed, so nice for him, but unfortunately he gets spun and put back down the grid a little bit. It looks like Kitten Petter is able to build a little bit of a gap here as Andrew has to deal with Amram in the DRS zones as Kitten has broken away from DRS of Andrew. As HS Maria pits, I'm curious if Bodhot has opted to stay out. He's going to have to with those hard tires.
Oh no, I think Bodhot's already lost the position to Arcaka, and Porge is right on the back of him. I think if you're Bodhot, maybe pit and, you know, make up some time potentially with the quicker tires.
Yeah, I think that might be the right call for the Mercedes man.
He's just got no real grip mid-corner, it seems like, early on in the corner. So he's trying to come back to the porch, so a lot of respect for that. But this high-speed corner, I don't think he'll have the grip to stay there.
Well, now he's got P-Dog right on his heels now, too, so...
P-Dog also has some wing damage from the start, as P-Dog has Google Dougal right behind him, too. So, which I think Google Dougal might look to the inside of P-Dog. Might wait to the DRS straight.
Like up front battle for P2 here. Amaram looking to the inside of Andrew. Just got into turn 1. Can Andrew come back at him? He's gonna have DRS, so maybe Amaram should have waited. So a lot of speed going up that hill to turn 3.
Ooh,
but yeah. Just Andrew, great run on the outside, and I mean, made it stick. Still has that soft tire grip, so I think Amaram's got to wait until, you know, you have DRS at one spot, but then, you know, and DRS coming back the other way is gonna, you know, make it difficult to defend.
Yeah, I think we're kind of coming to the end of the peak performance of these soft tires. They're really going to start to fall away. I found in practice about lap 6, lap 7 is when you really start to feel these tires and the degradation of these tires. So we'll look to see how these drivers choose to pit, if they want to go early or if they're going to try to stretch it out a little bit longer if they have good tire management. But I think we'll look for some moves here early.
No, I think Kitten last lap was about half a second faster than Andrew, so he has been able to pull away. The RJP's lost it.
Yeah.
RJP has hit the death curve.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
So Don Ammo, the pole time was 126.0. Kitten Petter was the...
Bodhot has elected to pit.
Yeah, I think that's a wise move. We don't want to be losing too many more spots here. Cut your losses and try to just recover them with fresh wing and faster tire. So Rogue looking for a move on Andrew into turn 4. But unfortunately he went a little wide, and now he has to play catch up again. Or sorry, that's SRS, not Rogue.
Pretty good battle for P2, but that's just allowing Kitten Petter just to scoot away from these guys.
Yep.
It is a little bit interesting. Andrew was set about the same lap time as Kitten, so even though he's battling, he hasn't lost a tremendous amount of time, and that just might be Kitten Petter pressing too hard on those soft tires, and, you know, Andrew might now have a little bit of a tire benefit.
Yeah, well, as we're coming up on the lap that Bergie says, you really gonna start to feel that tire wear.
Yep.
Lap 6 is tough. Lap 7, if you go that far, tough. I mean, I think every lap past lap 6 is probably overkill.
Yeah.
Alright, Andrew's elected to pit.
So Andrew, first one to pit of the top 3, going on to the medium tire.
P-Dog's in as well. A little early for P-Dog on the mediums.
Well, he does have that wing damage too, so it could put more wear on his tires.
And Andrew will have to deal with cream media, potentially. He's too far back this lap, but it's kind of lucky actually that P-Dog and Young DJ pit, or else he would have probably had to battle them. So with those two pitting, Andrew gets at least 3 seconds of clean air.
Yep, long pit stop for P-Dog there, so wing change just took a little while, but he's back out now. Have to see fitted tires here. So it looks like Google Doogle's slowly getting portage, but I wonder if
Young DJ's lost it. He got on the curb, I believe. He exited turn 3 and just recorrected across or on the outside of the track. And there's a safety car.
Safety car, so that's perfect.
Oh, this is gonna luck out for the leaders. Gonna hurt Andrew.
Yeah. If that would have stayed green, I believe Andrew would have got kit and petter. Would have been close, but I believe he could have got him.
No, these Renaults are gonna double stack. Yeah, they're gonna double stack, so Rogue might lose some time here.
Rogue is gonna lose a lot of time.
SRS gonna go for a 2-stop.
2-stopping in this game just takes so long because the pit crews they're not programmed to be ready for that.
Andrew's also on medium, so I mean, Amram's on 2-stop, Andrew's on 2-stop, Rogue's gonna be on a 2-stop. Arkaka's pit on hard, so he's 1-stopping. I mean, it depends if we get another safety car, but at this point, I mean, you don't stop the rest of the race and you are really set.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna cause for some interesting battles and strategy overlap as we get later into this race, because Kitten might drop down near Arkaka early, but then it'll be interesting to see Amram through Rogue having to battle it out on the softs at the end, or if they're opting for mediums.
It's gonna be really interesting to see when those mediums will start to die off and if Kit and Petter can make the hards last the rest of the race. Which is only probably about 19, 18 green flag laps once we go green. So I think you should be able to make the hards go all that way.
I'm a little bit surprised Bodhod's back on. Well, I don't think he either didn't stop or he pitted for mediums again, but I don't know. I think if I was Bodhod, I would probably just try to put the hards back on that he had on. Try to take them to the end.
Oh. Yeah, he definitely could have, but we'll see now. He's committing to the 2-stop.
I mean, then you're really doing like, the 6 laps already done on the hards. You really would do almost a full race on hards, so.
Yeah. Well, at least this allows iFunner, who had a really tough start to this race, allows him to catch back up to the grid, and hopefully he can make some spots back up. But it's been a tough Grand Prix so far for the Williams team. Cremate is up to P9 at least.
It'll be interesting to see how Google does. Now on these soft tires, you got mediums and hardest ahead of him. He should be quite a bit quicker as soon as we go green, but that'll only last for about 8 laps. But it'll be interesting to see where he compares, because the guys on mediums will probably go to softs at some point, so they'll be faster at the end. But I think it should pay off earlier for Google Dougal, and maybe that undercut going soft first might put him up there in front of the medium runners.
Without a doubt, I think being on the softest tire early will pay off mightily for him, but we will see as long as he can keep things clean and hopefully get those overtakes done early so that he can start to build a gap, because that'll be the biggest key for those guys that have opted for softs. You got Google, Cream, and RJP. They're going to want to leapfrog some positions early and then build a gap as much as they can and go from there.
Yeah, you don't want to wear out the softs too soon either, battling everybody, so you want to get those passes done as soon as you can. As I believe we should be going green next lap. Everybody's caught up.
Yeah. We'll wait and see if race control gives us the message for the safety car to come in. Yes, there it is. Safety car will be coming in this lap.
Lights are off.
I'm glad F1 is very consistent with their rules, unlike NASCAR.
Well, I liked the M1 race where it was just random yellow, then green, and yellow and green.
Oh, that was wild.
My only worry is Kitten Petter might be a sitting duck. He's really close to the safety car still.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait till it pits before he goes. Oh, this is gonna throw everybody off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we having a Magello start?
We are having a Magello start. Is now
a little
green.
bit. Oh.
Oh, is Arkaka got absolutely left behind on that start.
Oh man, look at the chaos here as Bodhod. So
Andrew. Oh, it's all worked out so far. Still battling up the hill.
So Andrew's in a little bit of a Renault sandwich right now. He's got Amram in front.
Oh,
Rogue on
no
his
Rogue.
gearbox.
Oh, this is gonna be chaos if someone doesn't back off.
Oh,
Oh,
there's still some outside.
Oh,
Rogue
Rogue's
runs a
quite
bit wide.
yeah, Rogue should give him that spot for running that far off.
Yeah, he definitely left the track to gain an advantage, so hopefully he gives it back on the DRS straight here, but we'll see.
I do not think so. I think he thinks he was kind of forced out there by running too wide.
Well, I mean, you gotta, unfortunately, have a little bit of racing IQ and understand that's not necessarily the best place to try and move. So if you can't get it done right on that exit of turn 4, you gotta concede the corner and try to get it later on in the lap.
Bodhod's already here though.
That is the thing. Bodhod is moved up the field, up to P5.
I will say Kitten, even though the start really didn't go right for anybody else, it stacked everybody else behind him, and they were all kind of battling for second, and it led him on the hards to get that second gap.
Absolutely. Oh, big lockup. Looks like Andrew has been overtaken by Bodhod. It's a great move by Bodhod into turn 1.
Andrew got a great run on the inside, though. They're still side by side.
They're side by side into turn 5. Oh. Andrew wisely stacks up behind Bodhod.
Although Andrew sends it on Bodhod, loses the very end on the exit.
It's not gonna work there.
So Andrew's got to be careful here. He might have to let his teammate by, who is on the faster tire, and try to get Bodhod later on. But we'll see here what the AlphaTauri garage chooses to do. But this looks to be the hot battle at the moment for P4.
Google Dougal is completely out VRS right now for this lap.
Further back down the field, you got RJP on the gearbox of HS Maria. DRS has been enabled. Oh.
Amram is quick on those medium tires. He's going to have DRS as we head up the hill.
Pop on over and go watch that battle unfold. See if SRS can close this gap down to Kitten. Bodhod's gonna have Andrew really close to him as well here, so DRS can make great an interesting race as we move forward.
Yeah, Butthot's reeling in Rogue, already got DRS range on him, and he's kind of just pulling Andrew along.
Yeah, I think DK, I think that was you earlier mentioning the DRS trains around the track.
Yes.
Yes, I think your DRS train theory is coming true here. It looks like as long as you can stick with the cars, you're going to be stuck in that train. So we've kind of got a mid-train from P4 to about P8 or P7, and then it looks like there's a little bit of train further back with P9, 10, and 11. So.
And everybody just sets a faster lap behind him.
Yep.
Kind of the track is nothing like Austria, but compared to DRS zones, it's kind of a lot like Austria because they're kind of close together in a way.
Yeah.
It just makes it easy to stay in that train.
So we've got this nice little battle for P3 as Rogue is holding back the midfield there, but SRS is slowly but surely closing the gap down to Kit and Petter as expected on the softer compound tire.
I will say, yeah, this last lap, Amaram, even with DRS, was about the same pace as Kid and Petter in terms of time. Bodhod was 4/10 faster than the leader, so he is, in terms of everybody in the top 5, him and Andrew right now are the fastest in the top 5.
Wow, that's very interesting that Amram hasn't been going much quicker than Kitten, so I wonder, and their ERS is similar, so Kitten has really been able to dial in here and put together some solid laps.
There should be a formality here for third.
Yeah. Rogue moves to defend. Bodhod takes the outside.
In the background, Google Dougal gets lapped by Andrew.
Oh, Rogue uses all of that curb on the inside of turn 3 to try to work with Bodhod here, and this is quite the battle for P3 at the moment, guys.
Oh, here comes Google Dougal.
Oh, it's the back out.
Oh, and he lost the back end. Oh, he's going to lose out big time.
Unfortunate for Google Dougal there. Got a little over ambitious, and then as he had to back out, then loses the rear end trying to get on the power again, and now back to P7.
And with everybody stuck behind Rogue, the top 2 guys are casually cruising away.
Yeah. We'll see here. I think Amram is going to be able to potentially get a overtake achieved in turn 1 of the next lap, as he has closed that gap down again. So we'll see.
What Badad's got to do is if I have the least amount of ERS as he has, I'm just gonna, when I get to the DRS, I use the DRS just to save ERS, and every time I check, Badad's just using overtake and not really gaining any.
No, absolutely. I think ERS management is critical, especially when you are in that DRS train.
Oh, double lockup.
Oh, just a little bit of a move there, but I'm on board with Amram, who is showing his car in Kitten's wing mirrors, but he isn't close enough to get a move done. But it looks like, looks like we got a little bit of a battle back. Yellow flags back in turn 1. Looks like iFunner lost out a little bit. With Andrew and Rogue. So Bodhod was able to get by Rogue. Bodhod now has P3. So Bodhod, driver of the day so far, up 10 spots.
He's really had to brake and use up tires big time. Look at that pass.
So Rogue is low on ERS now. Andrew's got some pretty solid ERS, and it looks like Bod is low as well, so look to see if Andrew can take advantage of these guys who will be harvesting their ERS on the DRS straight here.
So fun, cool little.
Sorry, go
Sorry
ahead,
about
TJ.
that.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, fun little cool fact here. I'm messing around with the telemetry website. I can actually see tire percentage.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm just looking at that right now.
RJP
So-
spun at the same curve as earlier, and from qualifying.
Oh, shoot.
Does not have a front wing. Oh, Rogue and Andrew are neck and neck.
So Andrew got by Rogue, but Rogue's gonna try and get that spot back, but he's really low on ERS, so I don't think he's gonna be able to this lap. But Andrew. So this little battle for P4 here allowed Bodhod to kind of skirt away, and hopefully Bodhod can stay out of the DRS zone for his sake, as he needs to try to close that gap down back to the leaders.
Unfortunate for him, I think he's used up a lot of his tires getting by Rogue.
Yeah.
Too.
Yes, Bodhod's tires are sitting at 39% wear right now.
Oh.
Last lap, even after Bodhod got by Rogue, he's was half a second slower than SRS and Kitten. So
Yeah,
at
Bodhod
least you should
definitely
just
with the
how the
most wear
traffic
tires.
hurts you.
Ooh, Google Doogle getting a little squirrely there. Trying to be getting on that power, trying to get P-Dog, but I think those softs, he's 7 laps on those softs. I'd imagine that we'd see Google Doogle pitting in the next 2 laps here. As those softs, I'm sure, are not feeling great. Same with Cream Media's softs. So, Rogue, P-Dog looks like he's going to be potentially getting a move done on Rogue in the next DRS straight here. But we will see.
Yeah, this has been cruise control for Kitten up front. I don't think Amaram gets to run off the corners to get close to Kitten. I mean, even with DRS, Kitten just gets such better exits, even on those harder tires. And I think I think Kitten, brakes earlier and mid corners a lot faster. So, I mean, Kitten really, it's been a pretty easy day for him. He hasn't really truthfully had any big battles up front. He's just led from the word go.
Yeah, 100% Perry. I think Kitten has been doing an excellent job in this Grand Prix so far, and he really knows how to manage those hards and knows when he needs to be braking so he can get on the power and be effective. And I think SRS is kind of getting a little bit desperate, and it's kind of costing him in a couple of corners, and that's why he hasn't really been able to close that gap down.
Rogue is out of DRS. Here comes P-Dog.
Fortunately, the Renault driver just sitting back there, and P-Dog able to
Good
get
Lord.
by Rogue for P5.
P-Dog's got to be running some low wings, even with DRS. Just flying down the front straight.
Yeah. Let's see here if Rogue can get back. I don't think he will be able to. So now Andrew, he is caught right up to Bodhod. So Bod's mediums are really starting to feel the pressure. 11 lap old hard mediums. See if Andrew
Andrew was 7/10 faster, and Kittenpetter was 1 second faster than Bodhod. So Bodhod's pace on those mediums are done.
Yep. So we'll look to see here if Bodhod gets overtaken by Andrew, or if he's able to keep the AlphaTauri driver behind him.
As we're mentioning, Google Doogle and HS Marrera also pit, and Cream Media all pit for mediums this last lap.
Oh.
So in the case of Google Dougal, who's now kind of stuck behind iFunner, you know, he's losing time, I think,
Yep.
being behind iFunner on hard tires, or else he would be making up time.
So Andrew.
There's Andrew.
There he goes into the pits. I'd imagine Andrew might be able to squeak by on some softs, but we will see. It looks like he's going opting for the mediums.
I think the mediums.
Yeah.
I think anything more than or equal to 10 laps here is probably gonna be mediums.
Oh, and Google Dougal, big lunge into the final corner, getting around iFunner. So those fresh mediums really paying off with the extra grip. So now he's
Looking at Andrew's tire wear before you pit there. I think he could have gone another 2 laps.
Oh, as
and then maybe
P-Dog
put the
goes.
softs on.
Sorry, DK. P-Dog went quite wide at turn 7, and similar to what Rogue had done on lap 10 there, he just stayed, really wide, trying to keep the pace. But we'll see if Rogue is able to get an overtake done. Rogue is really hurting for ERS here, so he's been. Looks like he's struggling for pace and has been sucking the ERS to try to just keep up to this group ahead of him. But getting just the commanding lead up to this point. 1.4 off the 1.4 ahead of P2.
Man, I think Andrew's really going to be cutting into these guys. I mean, I think Badhad, yeah. No, Badhad's going to stay out. So these guys might pit in for softs that are on mediums right now, but I mean, they are really going to, they're going to be losing a lot of time to Andrew these 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, pit stop seems to be about 22 seconds, so.
P-Dog's gone into the softs.
I think P-Dog that's an ambitious call there. He's going to be, those softs are really going to be feeling it by the end of this race, but I think he'll be able to stretch it.
So Google Dougal goes fastest on a 129.7. People like Badhad ahead of him have been running 131, so when he caught up 2 seconds that lap, and once Badhad, Rogue have to pit, I mean, they'll be really close between them and P-Dog and Andrew right now.
No, without a doubt. It looks like Badhad's on pace to come out right around Andrew, so it should be interesting to see when Badhad chooses to pit.
So what is Badhad and some of these guys on mediums tire-wise? Because I almost think, I mean, it would be stretching it a long ways, but to do 20 laps on mediums, it might be possible if they get lucky.
Oh, interesting.
Badhad's sitting at like 60% right now on his front left, so
he's not gonna make it.
No.
Here he comes. Where will he cycle out?
Rogue follows him in as well.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going to come out. Ooh, this is going to be tight, but I think he's going to come out just ahead of Andrew.
He's got too much of a pit road left. He's going to come out behind Andrew. He'll come out right next to Google Dougal, I think. No, he comes out in front of P-Dog. Rogue gets jumped by everybody.
I wonder, did Rogue have wing damage at all? Or is that just the luck of the draw with that group of P-Dog and Google Dougal and Andrew just all flying by?
Well, he did get passed, I think, by P-Dog before P-Dog pit. So, plus then he stayed out for an extra lap or 2. So that's about right. Him coming out 3 or 4 seconds behind him.
Right, and confirm Andrew did not have wing damage, so yep.
The real question is, how can Porridge keep his pace on the hard tires? Because, after Amaram pits, he's going to be P2. Can he keep Andrew? Can he keep Badhad? Will these guys battle behind him, and he'll be able just to hold on to a podium spot, potentially?
Yeah, I think that'll be the biggest key for Porridge is consistency, and hoping that Andrew and Badhad and P-Dog are duking it out for Q4. Actually, I
Also,
guess
how
we
much
could-
time did Amram lose by staying out? I think he stayed in DRS, or stayed within a second of Kitten Powder, so he did have DRS out. I think he should be out in front of Andrew by quite a ways.
Yeah, so looks like SRS should come out in the middle of that P-Dog Google Dougal Bodhod grouping there. So
Oh, here comes
Oh,
Bodhod.
comes out ahead. So
Amram's
SRS.
going to come up in front of him.
Yeah, Amram comes out in front of Bodhod.
And only 2 seconds off Forge too, so that's not a whole lot of time lost there.
No one.
So Bodhod could be looking at a podium after everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Badha did just turn the fastest Sector 1.
It looks like SRS is already going to have DRS here, so Forge's going to have to defend for his life. As we've got 7 laps to go in this Grand Prix.
As far as penalty goes, everybody is clean so far as well. So.
Oh, as P-Dog gets around the outside of Andrew on the softer tire.
Forge really is a sitting duck.
Yeah. Big lock up for Porridge. But he should be able to hopefully utilize DRS and cause some trouble for SRS. Oh, as he gets the spot back. And this is only helping Bodhod as these...
Bodhod loves to see this.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Oh, Amram's got DRS now, though.
I had a little bit of a glitch on my screen there.
There's so much more grip for the soft spot hot around the outside. This would be a tremendous move.
Oh,
gets it.
shoot.
Oh.
Oh no, it looks like Porridge and Bod might have had some contact there.
I think that was mostly a racing incident. Bodhod left him space. Porridge just kind of sent it in too far.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, and he gets a random 10-second penalty.
Yeah, that's
coming back on the track.
He'll be able to get that one removed for sure, but
I think Bodhod definitely had a nose going into that corner, so I mean, I think that's just tough nose racing. Porridge has to kind of, just kind of overcooked it.
That's a tough call. Like you're rushing on those softer tires, and you know that your competitor that you're racing against is pulling away, and you're trying to get ahead, and just a tough spot to try and get a move done, and unfortunately Porridge suffers because of it, but still we race as Andrew hunts down a P-Dog for P4.
Yeah, P-Dog should be quicker with those soft tires, but Andrew might have more pace, and the longer the race goes, Andrew can be faster than those soft guys, so...
Yeah. We never got to see P-Dog qualify, so because he did DNF in qualifying, so I'm not really sure what kind of pace P-Dog has here, so we'll see. So far so good on those soft tires. Oh, as we've got... Is that RJP off the track there again? So RJP has been just destroyed by that curb there, DK.
Well, definitely. No, that curb catches me out like all the time. I hate it, but
well, it used to be called the Blank curb because Blank crashed there like 2 or 3 times in a race, and I guess now today it's going to be the RJP curb as he's now lapped down.
Very unfortunate. RJP had a good qualifying, just kind of unfortunate turn of events. I think he'll retire more than likely right here.
Yeah.
Unless he's got damage. I don't know, he might carry on.
He's suffering a time penalty from speeding in the pits from earlier. I'm going to check the times as they come across to see if Bodhod's getting any closer. Aaron did a 129.4 last lap. Bodhod did a 129.3, so Badhad is nominally quicker, but he's still about 4/10 from DRS.
He's running quite low on ERS at the moment, so that's gonna be tricky to try to close that gap up. But so far the field's spread out quite a bit, so once these drivers lost out... Oh! What do we got going on back there?
Not sure what that was about.
Is that,
I think maybe somebody just ran wide.
I think it was RJP getting caught up in the back markers there, so I think he just kind of slowed down and get out of the way of everybody.
That makes sense.
Because he did kind of come out in that grouping. So Badhad is down a couple of tenths to Amram. Amram has a strong second sector there by the looks of it.
Right now, P-Dog has the fastest lap, and I don't know, unless maybe Amram could beat it, but P-Dog was almost a full second faster than Amram, so for fastest lap.
Gonna be P-Dog's really gonna be stretching these tires. Also at the end, he's already up to 40%. So.
Well, yeah, with 3 laps to go, it'll be interesting to see where the tire was at and how these drivers feel.
He has gotten out of DRS for Andrew, so he seems to be good. Looks like we'll have a pretty anticlimactic finish.
Yeah, guys, I need a refresher here. I feel like Kittenpetter had a pretty dominant race last week too, where he was, or was it 2 weeks ago, where he was by himself for the last stint of the race by quite a bit.
I think it was the race he won. I think he won Spa.
Did he win Spa? Where
a couple weeks ago.
I think it was Spa, where he was miles ahead of second place.
Yes, off of strategy too. So another race where he's gonna win, potentially. Shouldn't say that. Off of strategy.
I mean, there was a point, not right now, but there was a point, maybe lap 20 or 21. If he wanted to pit for softs, he could have and still been in the lead.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to say strategy. I mean, strategy's going to carry him to the end, but he stayed in first with those hard tires and had the pace to stay in first on those hard tires. So I don't. It's almost half just not. It is strategy, but it's also. I mean, he's driven spectacularly. I don't think you have an 18-second lead because of strategy. I think it's because you're the fastest guy in the lobby, and you also have a pit stop less than everybody.
No, without a doubt. That's a good point. Also, Kitten did take advantage of that safety car as well. So.
Yeah, lucky if it would have came out 5 seconds sooner. Oh, as we're talking about him winning the race, I'm just watching him. He just about lost it in the middle of sector 2.
Getting a little scary there.
What are tires at? I'm wondering.
Kittenpetter is sitting at 64% on his left rear, 60% on his left front.
So, I mean, he probably will be safe, but it wouldn't be unheard of if he got over 70 and got a puncture. But it would be very bad luck.
It'd be very bad luck. If I'm Kittenpetter with a 15-second lead, coming up with 2 laps to go, I'm cruising. I'm not really trying to push the car.
You're gonna be setting like 135, 136 lap times.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just pulling into Hamilton to get it across the line in one piece. Oh, crazy.
I'm gonna be watching the tires though, so if anything happens, I'll let you know.
Well, I mean, 19 laps in, as expected, that pace has started to drop a little bit as SRS has closed that gap down to 15 seconds. So, but I don't think he's going to be gaining enough to get P1 anytime. And DK, you said the penalties were pretty much clear. There's a couple of drivers.
Penalties. I can only see like what they have. I can't see the warnings. I guess I could pause the game and check the race director. But as of right now, everybody's sitting at 0 seconds.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Kittenpetter's about lost.
He's lost it. Yeah, same spot.
He just needs to. I think he just needs to coast through that section. His next lap.
All right, so we have somebody on comms win AM2. Which one of us are winning tomorrow? I think it's Bursey.
Nah, Perry.
No.
I'm finishing P10.
Perry, you've got really good pace. I think you'll be up in the top 5 for sure. I think so.
See, I think I have good quality pace here, but then whenever I do a test run, I always crash because my softs are dead by lap 4. So Forge is going to, I think, try to set the fastest lap on the last lap. So he was already, I think he was in 10th. So changed the front wing and said, "Let's go at it and take away a bonus point from somebody."
Yeah, there was something last lap where he got passed by his teammate, and then he had DRS, and he didn't even try to use it, so I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately.
Time to beat is a 128.4 from P-Dog.
Kitten Petter heads into the final lap.
Yeah, I was struggling for pace around here, even in time trial. I, for some reason, just couldn't get the rhythm down. Was locking up and not hitting apexes right. So finally set a time trial time in the, I think I did a 25.6. So, but we've got some quick guys in the AM1 lobby, so I'll probably be around TK there. We're fighting for P10 by the sounds of it. So we'll see.
Bean Sandwich does time trial time, is out of this world. Nicholas Fenrique should be back to his old self.
Yep.
Alp, I believe, is going to be there. So literally, it's like 4 of the top 100 drivers on PlayStation in AM1. So stay tuned to watch that.
Absolutely, should be good. I believe we have a new driver that speeds 25. He's supposed to rumored to have Alp level pace, so that'll be good to see him duking it out with Alp for some.
Should we give Arbar a shout out?
I think we should give Arbar a shout out. He's been commenting fiercely in the
Kitten Petter a shout out that he just won the race.
And Kitten Petter crosses the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. AM2
Who's Kitten Petter?
Who is this Kitten Petter guy? Congratulations to the man who does comms for our AM1 races. That was a dominant performance from the Haas man. Perry, I'm sure as a fellow Haas driver, you are very happy to see him get some solid points in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody needs to step up, and it's probably not going to be me anytime soon, so. Alright, let's see how Porridge. Real question, can he set the fastest lap?
Let's hop on over there.
Let's see here.
Sector 2 time. 2.4 seconds up, so that would put him at about a 128 point, or 129.4. So he's still probably going to be well slower.
He hasn't said any purple sectors. So.
28.4.
Oh, he missed it by 4 thousandths or 3 thousandths.
Oh, that's tough.
He missed it by 3 thousandths of a second.
Crazy. Arbar's predicting that I have my first win tomorrow. Yeah, there's gonna have to be a lot of things go right tomorrow, I think, for me to get a win. I think that's, but we'll see. You never know. I think Arbar's gonna have a podium. I was watching Arbar's race earlier today with EU2, and he looked like he was having a strong race, but I didn't get to see the finish, so I'm not sure where he finished, but he was on pace for a podium, so.
Yeah, spray that rose water.
There you are.
The game gave Botthot a driver of the day. Be interesting to see what the chat thinks about who gets driver of the day today.
Yeah, 100%.
I think driver of the day is Don Emo for watching in Switzerland, 6 hours ahead, so
100%.
about 4 a.m.
Shout out to Don Ammo. So Kitten Petter, Amram, and Bodhot are your podium finishers. I think Bodhot and P-Dog both had solid drives today, gaining quite a few spots. Yeah. So
P-Dog with the trouble at the start definitely had a good drive, and Bodhot as well with the other incident had a great drive.
I think if I was a voter for driver of the day, I would go to RJP for finishing out the race, because if that was me crashing at Blank's Curve 3 times in a race, I would have probably punched a hole through my TV. So good for him to finish out the race.
100%.
And hopefully he can improve and have a setup going to Austria.
All right, DK, do you want to send an invite to the podium finishers here?
Yes, sir. Already out. So, fun fact, that is Kenton Petter's second victory of the season, his third podium, SRS's third podium, and Baudard's sixth podium of the season.
Hot's always on the podium.
Forge Power got his worst result of the season, so I'll throw that in there. Discovered some cool, interesting things with the telemetry website that I think we will use a lot more often.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did you discover?
Well, the fact that you can see damage of, like, tire percentage, like, live. You can see drivers' championships, drivers' points live.
It's always been there. It's just
it's always been there. I just haven't noticed it because I paid attention this time. I paid attention to it a lot more this time.
All right.
All right. So, who wants to go first? We should start with Badhad because he's probably had to work the most tonight. Badhad, you screwed up qualifying starting in the back, and then you lost your front wing. Really wasn't your fault with the HS Marrera and Google Dougal incident. So, had things go wrong from the start, the safety car kind of set you up, put you in that pack where everybody was doing another stop after the safety car, and you're able to race hard and finish third.
Yeah, it was eventful to say the least for me. Yeah, quali was a weird one. I went wide on the curb, but I looked back at my footage and I actually took less curb than I normally did, so that was a really weird one. I only had kind of a wheel on that curb. You can sometimes run the whole car on that, so that was annoying. And then getting caught up in that incident with, I think it was Google and Marrero ahead, that was also annoying because I knew the one stop was probably the way to go, but I had to pit off the hards and kind of commit to a two stop after that. The safety car did bring me back to the pack, but I think I probably would have had the pace to catch the top guys with that one stop if it had worked out as per normal. But I'm pretty happy with the podium after all that. Yeah, so it was a fun race in some ways, but also frustrating because I kind of bowled a bit myself and then got caught up in other stuff. That last stint was pretty fun trying to hold off P Dog and Andrew. We all had pretty similar pace, and then Amran had some really good pace as well on those softs, so I wasn't really going to make inroads on him. So P3 was probably the maximum, and then Kitten had the best strat with the one stop there. As soon as I saw that he was on the hards, I thought that he'd probably win the race because the hards are good enough if you can pit late enough on him, and with the safety car that kind of helped him. So Kitten had it spot on and absolutely deserved the win. So I think P3 was the maximum I could get. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, considering.
Yeah, the safety car definitely saved you. And then I was interested. You had some great battles with some of the pack, or well, with Rogue and with some others. But I was really surprised at how quickly your tires kind of burned out through those battles. You pitted before the safety car, so you had them on, and a lot of those guys pitted during the safety car. But it seemed like your tires just did not have the grip that they had.
Yeah, they were pretty cooked. I mean, the whole midfield battle, I wasn't that much quicker than necessarily, so it wasn't easy to get past people. Like, I took a couple of laps to get past Rogue, and I had guys behind me as well who were trying to get past me. But yeah, the tyres were cooking pretty much. I'm not sure if it was up to setup or whatever, but even on the softs there, even though I pitted a lap after Amran, they were kind of really dying off for the last 2 or 3 laps, so that gap kind of extended from 1.5 to almost 3 by the end of the race. So maybe it's a setup thing, but yeah, the tyres were cooking, which is why I did want to go hard medium for the race, because just to be safe, I didn't really want to touch the softs because they'd burn out in a couple of laps. But yeah, maybe it's something I have to check the setup.
All right, well, P3 nevertheless, great recovery drive and great podium.
Cheers, congrats to the other two as well. Super job.
All right, we'll move on to Amram with a solid P2. And it felt like he was P2 trying to hunt down Kid and Petter. There was a point where we kind of expected you to get past Kitten at the safety car, being on the better tire compound, but obviously couldn't get by him, and then still had a pretty easy cruise, though, keeping up with Kitten in that first stint, and then after the pit stop, holding on to second place.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit disappointed on the safety car restart because I thought I had a really good run on him, and then I realized, oh wait, he's not going yet, so had to stop, wait a bit, and then he got a good jump, and so I wasn't able to keep up after that. I had too much of a gap. I couldn't get him just with like the faster heating of the mediums. But after that, like you said, I tried once, it didn't work out, and past that, I was like, I don't want to risk this. I don't want to try and push it too much because I was very reminiscent of what happened last week when I tried to go against Petter and he accidentally put me in the wall. But I knew he was going to fight it, so I didn't try and put him in that situation again. And then, like you said, I had to pit because I committed to the two-stop once I went on the mediums, and I pitted to the softs, and I was hoping there was a glimmer of hope in the back of my head, like maybe Kitten can't make it last. Maybe he'll have to pit with like six laps to go, and then I'll get past him because I'm well within his window by now. But he, did a superb job giving his hards enough life to just barely make it to the end because, they seemed like just from the gap, they seemed like they were starting to really die off at the end, and it looked like he was trying to drive around on like some like ice skates at the end. So. Yeah, that's well done to him, and also well done to Badhad for making it through the pack as well as he did, and taking advantage of everything, and initially trying to do the one stop, and then adapting and making the most out of it. So, yeah, I was worried that he was going to get past me, but I just managed to keep ahead of him at the end, and his tires started to cook faster than mine, so I got a bit lucky there. But yeah, congrats to the other two, and can't seem to get out of P2, and I'm on the podium for some reason.
Yeah, P2 is a lot better than a lot of other places, so just congratulations on that, and hopefully you can one-up it next week.
Hopefully.
Alright, and then we'll talk to Kitten, who drove a quiet yet steady P1 throughout the race. He was first in qualifying, and I think led, if he didn't lead every lap, led almost every lap. So, Kitten, congratulations. I guess strategy-wise, you were pretty committed to the one-stop from the get-go, and I guess that worked out really well for you. You had a lot of pace on those hards, especially when everybody else was on the mediums.
Yeah, thanks. First and foremost, I want to thank my personal sponsor, Busch Light, and I want to say, Bahrain, thanks for being the best fans in the world. But yeah, like really, I really thought Bod would be my only competition here. Bahrain's my best track for some reason, but then I saw he was starting in like 13th, and I'm like, okay, well, all I have to do is just get to turn 1 first, and I should be all right. Now, I was surprised that not that many people did the one stop. The hards have plenty of life. I mean, my left rear was like 75% the last couple laps, so I mean, I was driving pretty hard to keep AMRAM behind me. But yeah, it was pretty much just uneventful. I kind of just had to keep everyone behind me all day, and that's all I could have really done. But yeah, pretty fun stuff. Second one of the year. Not too disappointed with that.
Mate, you should just slow down there.
Yeah.
I put it in lean the last 5 or 6 laps.
He was all over the place a couple of times off the track on those old hards. As well as the safety car restart, you did kind of a Bottas there. You were still close to the safety car, and then the game kind of expected you to go. You kind of went, then laid back off, and I think didn't really cause the accidents like Bottas caused at Mugello, but still kind of threw off everybody in the midfield and caused a lot of battles going into turn 1 behind you.
I had to give myself as much of an advantage as possible with everybody else throwing on the mediums there. I didn't really think I'd be able to hold everybody off. I thought that I would eventually have to relinquish first for a little bit at least. Until
you had enough.
But yeah, I mean, I was able to just keep it up. I know like AMRAM was pretty much within a second of me the entire stint, so it was mainly just down to saving ERS and fuel to use on the straights. But yeah, well done to AMRAM Bod, of course, getting on the podium.
All right, and then so just a personal shout out. How much does Busch Light pay you for their shout outs?
I get 1 free 30 pack a week, so that covers about a third of my weekly Busch Light consumption.
All right,
that's reasonable, mate.
All right. Well, of course, here in Bahrain, it's non-alcoholic Busch Light because we know how Bahrain is. So either way, congratulations on the win, and big win for Haas. Got to represent. So yeah, that'll conclude things here. Burzy, want to wrap things up?
Absolutely. Congratulations, you three podium finishers. That was a fun race to watch. Thank you, as always, for making AM2 one of the best tiers in Contest of Speed to watch. Just a reminder to our viewers, you can catch Bodhod and Kitten Petter on as the voice of AM1 tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as DK and Perry and myself are racing. And you can like and subscribe on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and make sure that you following sub here on Twitch if you haven't already. Thanks again, and have a great night.